Having our special cloud announcement this morning. It's going to be fabulous.
Please welcome RightNow Technology CEO and founder, Greg Gianforte.
We have a game-changing announcement to make that significantly moves the enterprise software industry forward. As an industry, we've only delivered on half of the promise. We've solved the technical delivery issues, but we have not solved the engagement issues. In fact, today, customers are paying for software they're not using. Negotiations are interminable because vendors are trying to lock them into long-term contracts without flexibility. It's not just us that are recognizing this problem. Rob DeSisto, senior analyst at Gartner who handles the SaaS contracting area, recently issued a report entitled Shelfware as a Service. And this is an epidemic problem today, customers being forced to buy more than they need. We're also very pleased to have Ray Wong here from Altimeter. Ray recently issued a report entitled The SaaS Bill of Rights. At any time an industry has to issue a Bill of Rights, you know somebody's rights are getting trampled on. So the reality is, even though we're in this SaaS world, SaaS vendors are masquerading in cloud clothing. They really haven't embraced the flexibility and accountability that the SaaS world is making possible. Today, we're issuing a challenge to the entire industry, both to software buyers and to SaaS vendors. The way we're answering this challenge is with the RightNow Cloud Services Agreement. This is our standard agreement for every new customer and every customer when we renew existing contracts. And I'm pleased to say that we've had a fantastic response from our customer base, both prospects and existing customers. This is what they've been asking for. We've posted the Cloud Services Agreement up on our website. I encourage you all to look at it. It's just a few pages long. It's written in plain English. This is not about sneaking something in. It's about putting our value proposition out front. The RightNow Cloud Services Agreement allows customers to align their usage up or down on an annual basis. This deals with the issue of them not knowing how many seats they're going to need 3 years from now. Secondly, the Cloud Services Agreement provides a base contract of 3 years with an additional 3 years of price caps. So complete price transparency. The customers know exactly what they're going to pay for 6 years. That's the commitment we're making to our clients without hidden fees. In addition, we're providing annual termination for convenience. This means we have to earn the right to get the follow-on years of business. In addition, the Cloud Services Agreement provides for annual pools of capacity to deal with seasonality. I'll give you an example. Overstock.com, good client of ours, online retailer, during the Christmas season, they have about 1,400 seats in their contact center. And during the remainder of the year, they have about 400 seats. Okay? So in a traditional enterprise software agreement, they'd have to purchase for peak usage. That is 1,400 seats, and they'd be paying for 1,000 seats for most of the year they wouldn't be using. Under the Cloud Services Agreement, we've introduced the concept of seat months. And this is similar to rollover minutes in our cell phone plan. They can roll over month to month within a given year so they can scale with seasonality. Also, we believe cloud services vendors ought to put guarantees with teeth. And by that we mean cash service credits into the agreements. We will pay our customers if we don't deliver. Some vendors put up a website and say, trust us. We think there has to be cash service credits involved. And today, for the first time, we've combined the delivery benefits of SaaS with the engagement benefits of SaaS. And We think all SaaS vendors should adopt these principles in their standard contract, and we'd like to see that happen because we think that'll move the industry forward. But in addition, we're challenging software buyers in major corporations all over the world to demand these capabilities when they procure solutions from vendors. So, again, I want to thank you all for being here today. I'm going to ask Jason Mittelstedt to come up and run a Q&A session for us. Jason?
You have advised thousands of clients on licensing agreements, and you've seen the ins and outs for a long time with the industry on licensing. What do you think about the cloud services agreement?
Well, this is really unique. The reason I'm excited is because it touches the spirit of software as a service. Right? Customers are looking for flexibility. Can I move up on licenses? Can I drop licenses as I need to? They're looking for transparency. Can you show me the agreement ahead of time? Do you know what I'm going to expect? Predictability. I mean, where can you find a 3-year commitment, a 5-year commitment on caps and prices? So that's really exciting. And I think what you're doing is you're upping the stakes for most of the other vendors, especially when you're looking at their contracts, especially when they're living off shelfware. It's going to be pretty interesting. Yeah, well, we think it'll be interesting as well. Is the cloud services agreement different from what you're seeing from your other SaaS providers?
This is revolutionary, and this is revolutionary in an extremely positive way. It's amazing how what's in this contract today are things that I've negotiated for the last 10 years in every contract. And the fact that you actually have a vendor who's willing to say, you don't have to negotiate for it. We deliver well enough, and we are a good enough vendor that we're willing to put this into the contract to start with, in addition to making it a much quicker negotiation process and building a much greater level of trust. There's no doubt in my mind that the only vendors who are going to succeed going forward are the vendors who are willing to put their money where their mouth is and do something like this. I don't know of any other vendor who's doing anything close to this. Our experience in 5 years with RightNow has been they have always led the way, and I think once again they're leading the way here. It's really revolutionary.
I think with regard to the CSA agreement, in my mind, my perception so far has been it's another kind of step forward. It's an important step forward. Let's call it an update and improvement.
RightNow is really, I think, throwing the gauntlet down, and the industry needs it, because the challenge is to really leverage the power of SaaS as a business model. As a buyer, you need to make sure that you can trust your vendor. You need to make sure that once you sign the contract, the services are going to be delivered to the quality you need. And frankly, how do you get there? Your vendor's sitting here telling you, I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is.
I think you'll see more and more people responding, that's what I want. I want to be able to buy a little bit, I want to test it, I want to roll it out, and based on our joint success, we'll both prosper together.
This is a pretty radical departure from that lock 'em and leave 'em kind of model. You know, once you sign a contract with some of these vendors, the moment just before you ink that contract is the best moment you will have with that vendor in your whole life, right? And this is a rather radically different concept, and it's hard for some of these other companies to get it, but there's no doubt that they're going to have to get it.
I think it's going to be demanded by customers because I don't think they were pleased with the model of the past. I think you would agree?
Absolutely. There are leaders and there are followers. I think that, right now with this announcement is really taking a leadership position.